It's been a while, but today I thought I'd discuss the Halo Infinite trailer and throw in my own 2 cents. Now I'm not going to do a detailed breakdown of the entire video we saw at E3, instead I will focus on a few things that caught my attention and share my thoughts. First up, let's talk about the main man, not this guy, Master Chief. As we all know, he got a redesign which drew a lot of inspiration from his classic armors, heavy inspiration from Halo 3 but also elements from Halo 4, Halo 5 and Halo Legends. Now to me it looks straight up like a fusion between the Halo 3 and Halo Legends armors, but at the same time it really gives off a Halo CE vibe, like the armor has a lot of mass and bulk. Master Chief seems like a walking tank and I think that's just awesome, and you can really get a feel for this whenever he is lowered on the floor of this Pelican or ship or whatever it is. So in terms of aesthetics and overall design, I think 343 hit a home run with this armor. I really dig it. That being said, I do hope they bring back the Halo 4 and Halo 5 campaign armor as customization options, because to be honest, it looked pretty damn good in those games and it would be kind of a waste to just leave them in the past. Ah yes, the familiar sound of Halo's shield regeneration really brings back those memories from Halo way back in the day. And I mean like, way back in the day.
Get the fucking word on! Get the fucking word on! Fucking snipers! Get the fucking snipers!
But there's just one thing. So we have a shield bar, but where is the health bar? Are we reverting back to how health was shown in Halo 3? Because in my opinion, that would be a step backwards. If your shield is broken, how will you know your health level? Sure, in a 1v1 you can pretty much mentally keep track of your health status and how many shots you can take, but what about for crossfire, multiple encounters, explosion damage, and so on? That's not as straightforward as knowing you can take 4 bursts from a battle rifle. This is why I like Halo 5's separate shield and health bars. Once your shield is broken, you can see how much health you have left. This is critical and useful information. You use it to help decide whether you should push up or whether you should back down in gunfights. So I'm not really sure about this move. But to be fair, I don't think this is the final version of the visor HUD. If we focus our attention to the lower left, there is no radar as well. So I'm assuming this is only a campaign scene for cinematic purposes. Maybe there will be a separate health bar in the actual gameplay, maybe not, I don't know. But I will point out that on close inspection of the shield bar regenerating from the left, you can see another bar underneath regenerating from the center. To take a guess, I'll say this might be the health bar and 343 just cleaned up the separate shield health system and optimized it into one single indicator. Makes sense if you think about it, considering you lose your shield first and then you lose your health. But again, I don't know, so we'll find out in the future. Next, let's talk about this scene. So yeah, something's happened to the Halo ring and now shit's about to get real. Naturally, being the badass the Master Chief is, he gets a weapon and is ready to fight. Now a lot of you have noticed that the gun Master Chief gets is none other than the Halo Reach MA37AR, and with that, this raises more questions than it actually answers. In particular, what kind of weapon sandbox is Infinite going to have? Is it going to be like Halo Reach, or is it going to build on and improve what we had in Halo 5? Or is it going to go back to Halo 3 style? What about the AR itself? Are we ditching that Halo 5 MA5D AR design for the Halo Reach version, or what? Personally, I'm not really feeling that, even though I do like the Halo Reach assault rifle. Honestly, I'm not going to attempt fully discussing this right now because there's just too much speculation involved. But briefly, in my opinion, I'm thinking that 343 is going to expand the weapon sandbox. Just like we had multiple weapon variants in Halo 5, Halo Infinite might expand on this concept as well, and we'll probably get multiple versions of weapons, AR being one of them. Anyway, an interesting thing that one of you guys pointed out is this might be just for the early missions using older generation UNSC supplies, after everything has pretty much been decimated by Cortana and the Guardians, which actually would be pretty cool to see yourself work up to higher tech UNSC gear throughout the campaign. At the same time, it would be really interesting if they go in this direction. Remember in Halo 5 we had a BR-55 and a BR-85N, the CE Magnum and the Standard Magnum, and so on. A lot of weapons weapon variants in the same sandbox. So I'm actually excited for this if it ends up being realized, but I also can't wait to see what new weapons 343 adds to Halo Infinite's weapon sandbox. So I don't know, it'll be interesting. Alright, so the final thing I want to discuss is whether Halo Infinite is going to have classic or modern gameplay. Most of you know by now I prefer Halo 5's modern gameplay, so that's the direction I want Infinite to take, but I would still play the game if it took a more classic direction. So let me explain. The reasons why you or I play Halo Infinite should not depend on a modern or classic sandbox, nor what some YouTubers bitch about, including myself in the future potentially. It should depend on whether the game is actually fun to play. Other than 343, nobody else knows what the gameplay is going to be like in Halo Infinite. We're all guessing. No one has confirmation. It could be like Halo 5, Halo 3, or Halo Reach, and I think that's what most people narrow it down to. But if you want my opinion on it, here it is. I think Halo Infinite will expand on Halo 5's gameplay. Now I'm not saying expand as in we're going to have wall running, grappling hooks, and portals. I'm saying there will be sprint, clamber, slide, etc. I think 343 might rebalance some abilities like Spartan charge and thrust, but in terms of gameplay, the Spartan abilities will be there. Now I have held this position for a while now, given how 343 discussed their past Halo games over the years, in particular Halo 4 and Halo 5. What they did right and what they did wrong with those games, what they need to do to create a great Halo game. And if you really want to know what their goal is for Halo Infinite, then listen to what the head of 343, Bonnie Ross, said in her interview with IGN earlier this year.
So Infinite will be applying those lessons.
No, I think that, like, hopefully we do listen, we do learn. I think that with Halo 4, I'm really proud of the campaign. I think our multiplayer lacked what we needed. So I think we did a good job with Halo 5 on fixing the multiplayer. And so I look at Infinite as we're going to put the whole thing together.
So let's start connecting the dots. All this comes straight from the trailer itself. So Master Chief's new armor design is inspired by elements from all Halo games, and 343 is really fond of design and function. In fact, they incorporate function into their designs, especially in armor and weapons. Here's the Bungie era Halo 3 Mark 6 armor. It has these notches in the back. Here's 343's Halo 5 Mark 6 armor. It also has these notches in the back. But now these notches look like exhausts and have a purpose. So to see what I mean, let's sprint with my Spartan to see what happens. Those exhausts create the thrust from the top of the thruster pack to boost your horizontal velocity. When you Spartan charge, those exhausts also create the thrust to power your charge velocity. And when you ground pound, those exhausts create the thrust for the downward velocity. Now if we go back to Master Chief's new armor in the Halo Infinite trailer, what do we see? Bingo, something that looks like thruster exhausts. In fact, it actually looks more like a thruster system than in Halo 5. But now let's go back to Halo 5 and this time stabilize with my Spartan. So stabilizing creates these thruster jets on the lower back of the Spartan, underfeet, and serratus interior areas. Now in the trailer I can't really get an in-depth look at the underfoot armor of Master Chief nor the serratus interior areas, but look at the lower back armor. It looks like two more thruster exhausts. The whole package just looks like 343 cleaned up the thruster pack design and made it more integrated with the armor. So whether we have Spartan abilities in Halo Infinite or not might literally be right in front of our faces. Though I will say this is just my theory, so don't consider this as something that is confirmed. The only thing I can 100% confirm for you guys is that split screen will be in Halo Infinite, the armor customization will be like in Halo Reach, and the game will be released late 2020. Everything else we'll find out later. In the meantime, I'm going back to doing Halo Reach weapon videos, so I hope you enjoyed this video. So thank you all for watching, and as always, until next time.
So tell me you got it right now, but you gotta holler right now. How? Tell me and you got it right now.